once again, and I want to thank God for this opportunity. Yeah, it's not that Mr. Alex is the smartest, right? But I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy to be doing this. I'm not worthy to be doing this. Forget all the goals that we used to do for ourselves, but thank God for everything. So, and I want to thank the NUASA also for bringing this together because I didn't even think about it. I think when I was away last year, we tried to do something similar to this, but I think due to some issues, then we're not able to do it well. But thank God that it's coming back again and it's coming back full force for everybody to enjoy this time. And so let's go straight to the point. So today we want to look at developing a research topic, right? That's the topic. Developing a research topic, and you're going to be doing it with your own Mr. Alex that you call Dr. Lexi, right? So I'm a knowledge creator and also a data information knowledge and wisdom strategist, right? So I try to use data to bring up information, and from information you have knowledge, you create awareness, and with the awareness we can make we can actually derive an insight on what to do on the people. Where is that why research? Because really it's not about the topic. For me, it's the motive of your research that matters. And once you're able to get the motive right, any other thing will fall in place, right? Everybody has their own level of motive at which they carry out their research. Some people do research because they want promotion. For us in the academia, if you don't have publication, you are not going anywhere. Even if you are publishing in Ojuri, right? Until you publish, until you show us that, oh, your work is actually somewhere that people are reading or people are citing, you can't grow, right? So is either you publish or you perish. That's the word in academia. Is either you perish. So that's one motive for some set of people. And another set of people is just for them to, okay, they are just curious, right? They are just curious about so many things. And I remember when I was still a kid, I didn't know that I was actually a researcher since I was a kid, right? For me, in the house, my dad is there, so but I'm going to still say it anyhow. So in the house, sometimes they will go and keep something somewhere, and just for us not to see it. But for me, I will observe. I will just sit down and observe and just like, where can this thing be in this house, right? I was curious, right? And I can't find that thing in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to see it in the next 5 minutes. Once I just sit down and just observe that, hey, I'm looking for, maybe it's, I don't want to know, maybe it's food or something, right? I'll just sit down and just like, hey, where can I put it? So I was just like, oh, check this place, check that place. And once I check it, I'll get it. So I was curious. So that's a research also. And the main thing that I want us to get right is that research is not only to create that is not only to create, like, do you're solving a particular problem, right? So if you are able to get this right, any other thing that you are doing will fall in place. You are not just doing research because they said that, hey, you're in 400 level, or you are doing your master's, or you're doing your PhD. And I say that, oh, you just have to do research and you just be curious of, oh, how will I get about this thing? How am I going to do this thing? I'm not creating knowledge. I'm not just creating an awareness of something that is going on, right? But I want to solve a problem. And how can I solve this problem? So you can actually solve this problem through your research, right? You can solve your problem through research. So that's one of the reasons for research. And another thing that for me, another name for a researcher, for me, is a solution provider, right? Or a problem solver. That's what we researchers do, because before you make any decision in developed country, before you make any policy, forget that we are doing offshore oil subsidy in Nigeria. Before, please, as you are coming in, please try to mute yourself, please, to avoid any distraction. Please mute yourself. Thank you. For me, a researcher is a solution provider, or a solution provider or a problem solver. So in that case, for example, let's say that I was reading a book by Obama, right? His Promised Land. That's the name of his latest book, A Promised Land. And I got to a place whereby, it was during his time that financial crisis happened, right? So, and in that case, he said that he tried to call people in industry, people in academy, people all around the world, all around the place. They came up with a committee, and the responsibility of that committee is to go and do a research on how can we win, or how can we fight this financial crisis. And at the end of the day, it was their recommendation that they followed. And by 2009, everybody is fine. By 2010, everybody is good. Right? Through research, they were able to come up with a policy. Forget what's happening in Nigeria, in a developed country. Before you say that you want to remove oil subsidy, before you say that you want to float your exchange rate, the best thing they are going to do is, hey, researcher, please try to do this. What would be the implication on the economy? It's not like you are just doing trial and error. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Right? Like what is happening right now. We don't do guesswork. In a serious economy, we don't do a guesswork. And in that case, you have to do it through research, because the research is not compulsory that is accurate. It's not going to give you an accurate solution, but actually you are going to see different scenario from this different angle, and you can actually achieve this through research. So once you have this in mind, right, you are good to go with your research, and you either solving your own local problems, or you are solving a global problem. So is it that way? Is it that you are solving your own, or maybe you are just solving a Nigeria problem, or you are just solving your school's problem, or you are just solving your local government problem. So any problem that you see, it's not compulsory that you have to go there and do this one and do this one. Through your research, you can influence policy. Through your research, you can say that, hey, government, stop this thing. Hey, government, increase our VAT. Hey, government, reduce our VAT, right? Through your own research. And by that, you are providing solutions. You are solving problems already, right? So once you are able to situate these, you are not starting with topic. That's what me I'm trying to tell you, that whenever you want to start a project, don't start with your topic. That's just the summary of what I'm trying to say here. Try to look at what is the problem I'm trying to solve, right? What is my argument? What is my case? A government should do this. Government should do that. Okay, you now put it into research. So from there, you already have intuition, right? Or what we call, either you call it intuition or you have a theory. You can actually still build a theory from your intuition through your research at the end of the day. So the next slide is now research topic itself. So your research topic that you are not coming with right now is not going to convey the underpinning idea that you already got, or the trying to put in place, or the case that you're trying to position. So that's what your research topic is going to entail, right? The research topic is not just like government governance on this thing, right? It's not only the effect of government governance, of corporate governance, or institutional quality on this thing, right? But it's from your own idea, right? It's from your own argument that you're not going to bring up the topic, and that for me idea before you now say that you have your topic, and your topic in itself is not going to be is not going to be sorry, I'm trying to admit some people in. So your own topic can be creative. And there's no right way to a topic. Let me put it that way. There's no right way to a topic. It's from your own idea that I'm going to say that, okay, this is how creative I want to be, or this is how creative I want to put my my topic, right? But before you can come up with that topic, you already in that case. Sorry, can you guys still hear me? I'm getting some information here, guys. Can you still hear me?
Yes,
All right,
yes, I can
thank you
hear
so
you.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's now look at the heart of developing a research topic. I already mentioned the step one. The step one is that starts with an idea. Have something in mind that you want to work with. Situate your case. Okay, government should do this more. That can be your own case, right? And you want to put it in research. So then that situate an idea, situate a case, or position an argument. Okay, you can say that, hey, Nigeria is where it is because of corruption. That's an argument. You're trying to position an argument, right? So in that case, you're saying that Nigeria is bad because of corruption. Nigeria is bad because of bad governance. That's an argument that you want to put in place. So with that, you can now wait. And the second is now going to lead us to the second step, right? So please, you can always find anything online. You can always find anything on ChatGPT. But what I'm just sharing today is just my own little experience and how I come about topics, right? And I think at the end of the day, I'm going to show you guys little of what I've done so far in my short life. Somehow, let me just put it that way. So the second step is that, is your idea feasible? Is your idea feasible in a case whereby what we're talking here is that, is it achievable? Okay, you are bringing an idea that, oh, government should be feeding all the household in Nigeria. That's your idea, that's your argument, but is it visible? So in that case, you are going to look at it. If it is not feasible, that means that you go back to your idea, rework your idea again, rework your argument again, rework your position of your case, how you see it, how you see it. It's not feasible. So, but if it is feasible, what you are going to look at is that, is it measurable? So the measurement that we're now saying here is that, can you get data? Because what I used to tell people is, before you start any work, look at how you want to get the data of that work. If you don't have the data, don't go into it. The data does not mean that you have it on WDI by World Bank, or you have it with United Nations. Your data can be your questionnaire. Your data can be your interview, right? Those are the data that you want to work with in order to now answer your research question, or to now achieve your research objectives. So if you can't get the data, don't venture into it, because at the end of the day, is going to, you are going to hook somewhere. If there's no, that means that you are just writing an opinion. And in academy, is until you get to the peak of your career that can, or you can always publish your opinion, right? But if you are just starting up, you can't publish your opinion, because they will tell you that, when do you start? You are just starting and you're giving us opinion already. It's not okay, right? So if feasible, you look at it. Is it measurable? Do you have data for it? Oh, if you have data for it, good, and go ahead. And with that, the next step is for you to now question your idea. Question your idea, because that's what is going to be the beauty. It's going to bring the beauty of what you are doing. The question is, okay, you are looking at green tax. You want to look at the green tax. Okay, you have the data for it, but green tax in Africa, is it feasible? Is it okay? You are trying to question it so that you can now situate. Okay, is it going to be in a developed country that you want to look at your green tax, or you want to look at it in Nigeria, right? Or do we even need it? Do we even need green tax? because you can compare the people that are there already. They already have what they need, the infrastructural, everything is there, but we are still crawling. So why the green tax, right? So sometimes you just look at the case that I want to do. In this case, now you are looking at the scope. Either you are looking at developed country or you are looking at developing country. Are you getting it? So you can question your idea in any way, any way, any way. There's no benchmark for your questioning, right? It's how creative you are that is going to make you curious, and you can always question your idea often. So before I go to my experiences, right? Before I go to my experiences, I will like to say that whenever you are dealing with your topic, and you know that topic is just once you take an article, that's the first thing that we are going to see. That's the first thing that you are going to see, regardless of where you are taking it from. Either you are taking it from Ojuri journal or you are taking it from ABS journal. The first thing that you're going to see is a topic. And I think this is an example. I don't know if it's clear enough, but this is just an example of a paper that I've printed out. And in this paper, we are looking at tax compliance in Rwanda. Tax compliance in Rwanda. So the evidence from a message field experiment. So in this case now, you can make your research topic, you can make it to, I don't know how to put it now, you can make your audience to be curious about your research topic. You already have your idea, but you want them to look at, oh, what's this guy saying? So what I'm trying to say is that your research topic must not be in a sentence form. You're not writing a sentence. You're not writing a statement. You're just major, let me say, major keywords in your work. That research topic, tax compliance in Rwanda. It's not a statement, right? It's not a sentence. It's just telling you that, how does tax compliance in Rwanda is. So your reader are already curious about what you're saying. So you can be creative. For people that are writing undergraduate projects, you might not be able to get to this point in which you can show your creativity, because your supervisor will always tell you, oh, do it this way, don't do it this way, do it that way, don't do it that way, right? So you have to follow your supervisor guidance. But people in MSc, people in PhD, people that already have their PhD degree already, you can always be creative about it. You don't have to be saying the effect of, not in this stage, not this level again, or the impact of. It doesn't make sense any longer. Just put keywords together, let people be curious about, hey, what is this guy saying, right? And another thing is, we have a school of thought that will tell you that you must always put in your dependent variable and your independent variable. So in our subsequent classes or charts, we are going to be talking about what we mean by dependent variable, independent variable. How do you determine, oh, this is your dependent, this is your independent? Are you getting it? So you can actually put your dependent variable and your independent variable in your topic. So I can say that my independent variable can be my corporate governance, and I can say my dependent variable can be sustainability, right? It can be sustainability. So in that case, you're just putting two things together. So in another topic, you can put your scope. That is, are you looking at Nigerian banks? Are you looking at UK banks? Or you are just looking at UK university? Or you're just looking at your own university? So you can put your scope in your topic also. Sometimes you can put your time, the time period that you want to use. The time period can be of from evidence from 1995 to 2001 or during COVID. So all those ones are pointing to time. So there is no stereotype to how your topic should be. That's how topic should be. You can put it in any form. But the main thing is that it must contain, your research topics must contain your dependent variable, your independent variable. very clear. And scope also. Most of the papers are right. I make sure that these three things are there: my dependent variable, my independent variable, and my scope. And I'm going to show you guys a few of them before we leave for today. So let me try and share my experience so far with how to develop a research topic. So in 2017, right? I joined the Columbia University as a master's student, right? And in our first year, um we did our coursework. That is, you are going to be writing the exam, right? Written exam. So in your second year, you are going to be doing your thesis. You're going to be doing project, only project. So you're joining for the second year, you're just doing project, right? So in that case, when I wanted to start up, um, I can remember that the first time I went to go and see my supervisor in person of Dr. Jeka, right? So the first thing was that I went to him and I gave him a list of topics that I wanted to do. And he was like, hey, guy, I don't even know you. I've not even met you. And the first thing that you are doing is that you are bringing your topic and you're doing this. And he bashed me that for like 1 hour. Was just bashing me. If you know him well, you know what I'm saying, right? He was just bashing me for like 1 hour. And afterward, right? And afterward, I was just like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. Uh, 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 permit my ignorance and all that. And afterward, it was like, okay, that he actually just came about something recently. And I think for me, that was the first time I am coming to understand it well. So he talked about, hey, there are some issues around non-performing loan recently. If you can just work on that, right? And for me, I was like, okay, performing loan. What I know is that okay, we have that full debt, that too bad debt and all that, right? So now he's talking about non-performing loan. Funny enough, I went down and I was reading on non-performing loan, and I discovered that non-performing loan was actually one of the things that caused what we call the 2008 financial crisis, right? Because people were borrowing to buy this, people were borrowing to buy that, and we're not able to pay back. So, and you know that financial institution is like a stronghold of any economy, right? So in that case, they are borrowing, but people are not paying back. And it's all around the world, not just only in Nigeria. That's what happened in US, that was what happened in UK and all that. Those are one of the non-performing determinant of financial crisis then. And okay, that was actually what they call it. That was actually a problem for me, right? And as a researcher, you should be curious by that place that, hey, Jesus, something is cooking up here, right? Remember, I don't have a topic yet, right? I don't have a topic yet, but there's an idea that is popping up already. So in that case, I continue reading. I got to a point where I went to YouTube and there was an interview with, I think, the then CBN, right? And it was actually talking about how government was able to step in to cushion the effect of performing by them pumping money into financial institutions. So in that case, in Nigeria, they came up with a policy that our non-performing loan in any time, in any case, must not be more than 5%. That was the policy that was happening there. Like it must not be more than 5%. Okay, as a researcher, that was a policy, right? So for me, I went to go and search, hey, currently, what's the non the trend that after 2012, our non-performing loan is almost approaching 5%. And by 2015, it was already getting to 10%. And as at 2018, it's already at 18%. No topic, right? Remember, no topic. But there is this idea. So I was like, okay, as a researcher, what was causing this thing to increase, right? What's causing our non-performing loan to increase? So I went to literature to go and read what are the determinant of non-performing loan, and these in US, in Nigeria, but already have determinant, but which of the determinants I want to look at? So in that case, and I try to look at, let me use since it's just masters, I can't do everything. Okay, let me just look at the corporate governance, right? The corporate governance was how is corporate governance trying to deal with non-performing loan, right? How is corporate governance trying to deal with non-performing loan? So in that case, I came up with corporate governance and non-performing evidence of listed, right? And I went to go and meet my supervisor. He was like, "Oh, good. Got a statement of problem." He didn't even tell me that, go and write my introduction. And you know that with all those things that I came about, with the trend and all that, I already the problem already. So I just put everything together. I have my statement of research problem, and it was good. So as time goes on, when I was doing the research, I remember the first time I presented it in the Department of Accounting, Government University, Nigeria. I remember one of the lecturer that was the FOB, right? It was like, oh, it's a good idea, but you have some control variables. Why don't you just mention that's the topic? That was my thesis topic, and at the end of the day, it was so beautiful. And you can't guess less. I can't have less than hey. Right. When I was doing my final defense, I remember the examiner was like, wow, this is beautiful. But look at the process. So even in that case, I don't have to be reading for my presentation. So sometimes when I see my students to cram their topic, they are trying to cram the content of I was like, I was telling someone that my PhD work, the last time I read my PhD work from back to back was last year, October. And by God's grace, I've done 2 presentations this year, and I didn't open it. I didn't open first page. When I was okay, page number, these I said very sweet. There are so many experiences. There's so many experiences, but because of time, I think I'm just for today. I would have loved to talk about the current research I'm trying to do right now, but because of time, I don't want to waste our time, right? So that it's almost 9 Nigerian time here, so that everybody. Good. So, what is net of mind? I think I'm going to take in some points, and with that, by God's grace, we are going to call it a day. So, any question from the house, and you can contact me in the second house. And that's for me. It's not known for me, right? And my email, you can always send me email. You can always chat me up on WhatsApp or Telegram. So, any question from the house? I think with this few point of mine, I'm able to. I don't know. Sorry, I never did that in school. All right. So, any question? All right. Thank you so much. So, You guys are welcome to, I don't know if I should call it a web